Okay, so this morning we got to security about 7 o'clock. It's about 7:20 right now. They just let us through the gates. And we are headed to rope drop what?
We are headed to rope drop Fantasyland.
We're going to Fantasyland this morning. We thought it'd be fun to do all the attractions in Fantasyland and see maybe if we can catch some of the shows that are there too. When researching to do this, it was amazing how many attractions were in Fantasyland, and we chose to rope drop Fantasyland because it has the lowest number of Genie Plus lightning lanes as well. So we'll get Genie Plus today. Fantasyland only has 2. That's going to be the Matterhorn and Small World. So we are here at rope drop. It is 7:42, and we are on a rope.
This walkway needs to remain open.
So we got to security about 7:05, and we actually took a picture with the pumpkin, Mickey pumpkin, when we came in because there was only like 4 families ahead of us, and they took it with both sides of it, which is really cool. And then we got over here a little bit late, but we're still towards the front. So we got here about 7:38 after that. So we're gonna head straight to Peter Pan, start there because it has the longest line of the Fantasyland attractions, and then we're gonna see if we can do all Fantasyland today. Rope dropping, Peter Pan, walking as fast as our feet can carry us. Man, Gabby, you're a good fast walker. Hold on, you're going too fast for me. I don't want to slip. It's drizzly this morning.
I'm walking here.
You're walking here, you're right. Okay. Here we go. Hello! This is fun. No, it's not. It's so short. What are you talking about? That is so short. This way, right? No? Oh, whew. We made it. Peter Pan. First ride of the morning. Now the people that are already there, it's from, here's the crowd. That's from early entry. It's a very short early entry this morning. Probably get on 10-15 minutes. And then we will head to Snow White. Yeah, but it's going the long way. So my biggest tip for rope dropping is to head to Fantasyland if that's important for your family. Fantasyland gets so busy the later it gets in the day, and it's so warm. So you're gonna wanna make sure, if this is important, come here first, for sure. And then head to the other parts. This also is the land that has the least amount of Genie Pluses if you're gonna do Genie Plus. Here we are, first ride, Peter Pan.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
So we just got off Peter Pan. It is one of my all-time favorite rides here. I just think it's so incredible when you can ride up in the ship and look down on the little villages in London and see all the different things and from the movie. So now we are headed to our second ride of the day. That is going to be Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Now Snow White's Enchanted Wish used to be Snow White's Scary Adventure, and a few years ago they redid it, so now it's not so scary. It's a little bit more, that's okay. It's a little bit more wistful and fun. So here we go. My Dumbo went crazy. This is Snow White's room. Somebody must have put their ears in there. This used to be the dungeon, and now it's Snow White's room. You can tell by the little birdies, and her wardrobe is to the left.
Yes, so the teacups.
one that's like the third longest line or second longest line in Fantasyland. We usually do Peter Pan, Snow White, and then head over to Mr. Toad. Those are going to be your 3 most popular rides in Fantasyland in the morning. And so we try to get those all taken care of first thing. Snow White, what I love about Snow White is the mine scene that they added in. They took out those really scary trees. Remember the forest trees? I was always scared of that ride. It was so freaky. But now we are headed to Mr. Toad. Where it is pretty much a walk-on. Now Mr. Toad is based on Mr. Toad's adventure in the Ichabod and Crane movies. And we get to go on a wild ride to nowhere in particular. Okay, and you go. Particular. Are you going to take us on an adventure? Okay. Yeah. You're a little crazy of a driver. You're going a little too wild for me. Oh no! So we just escaped a scary adventure into nowhere in particular. It was a little warm down there. And now we are headed over to our next ride, which is going to be Dumbo. Now it looks like it's a really long line, but that's just because people finally got there and they haven't opened up the queue all the way. So they're gonna start opening up the queue. We'll get in, we'll do Dumbo. Once we're finished with Dumbo, we get to head over to Pinocchio. Now also included in Fantasyland is the Storybook boats, which is an amazing little ride through the Storybook village of all of the different Disney towns. They're really cute and they have decorations for Christmas. Also the Mad Teacups, the Mad Tea Party, and Alice in Wonderland, as well as Small World and the Matterhorn. Dumbo, one of the classic attractions where you're riding in a flying elephant. Something I really appreciate about the remodel is they added more shade and a longer line queue that's a little bit more decorative. Now it's nothing like the one in Disney World and Magic Kingdom where you get to go in and play in the playground circus. That's pretty cool. But I like the remodel they did and the update they did on this a few years back, where they added these really colorful and fun circus elements. Also another difference, and I really love, is they give you a number on the ground and you stand on that number, and that number matches your Dumbo that you are assigned to. So for Disneyland's Dumbo, they will assign you a number. This number corresponds to the Dumbo you will get. So when we get to go in next, I will look for the number 10, which is this one right here. Gabby will have the 11, which is the one right behind me. Dumbo! She's all the way down the ground. I don't know why. I love Dumbo. There she is. I found her. Okay, we just finished Dumbo, and now we are headed to Pinocchio. Now, Pinocchio, I think, is the scariest of all the Fantasyland rides. It used to be tied pretty much with Snow White's Scary Adventure, but now I think it's one of the scariest and spookiest of them all. So if you have kiddos that are a little bit scared of dark things and of the story, you might want to just be mindful of that as you go in. Now in the morning, it can be a walk-on, at night a walk-on, but come that mid-morning, that late afternoon, this ride can be very long. So this is the story of Pinocchio, and we get to a marionette shop, this show, and we go to the island, Pleasure Island, and just journey through Pinocchio's story. Very similar ride structure to Snow White. just getting off Pinocchio. What do you think?
Fun.
Yeah, it's probably one of my least favorite rides here in Fantasyland. I think it's one of the scariest rides, like spookiest. It is about 8:45. We've done all of the major rides here in this area at Fantasyland. Casey Jr. Train is next, and the Carousel in this area, but we're gonna skip that and head over to Alice in Wonderland and the Storybook Canal boat ride, because both of those are gonna get pretty long lines later on, and we'll come back to these two. So Alice in Wonderland is technically located in Fantasyland. Yeah, we have the Mad Tea Party, we have Alice's ride, and then we have also the Mad Hatter shop. So let's find the end of this line. This ride is the journey through the story of Alice in Wonderland. You're in a caterpillar, and it's not a very scary ride. It's actually quite fun. One of the least scary of all of the Fantasyland rides. And it just takes you through the story. Fun fact, when there was ticket booths here, that mushroom that you see right there, that orange one, is actually one of the ticket collecting booths. You can still see the little window inside. I don't think I would have wanted to work there because, well, it's a little small. And then if you look real close at the top of that mushroom, you should be able to see little caterpillar shoes. Thank you. The path just looks so inviting. Here we go. Down, down, down the rabbit hole.
All of a sudden, I noticed that Mr. Rabbit, wait, and
each of us would lose his head. Now, since this is the fourth weekend, we're taking the Rose's head.
Probably not open when it rains because of this part.
Yeah. Leisurely jaunt outside. Down, down, down. Good view of the top of the mushroom and the Matterhorn Canyon.
Look, there's spots.
Look at the mushroom.
Mama, look. There's a spot open.
I get to taste my unlimited too. There goes the cake.
Just got off of Alice in Wonderland. I love that ride. I'm a sucker for these Fantasyland rides. I just think they're so fun going into the story and really experiencing them. So let's head over to the Storybook boat ride now. It is one of Gabby's favorites, and actually it feels different riding it in the day and at night. So if you've ever just rode it during the day, make sure you come back at night. They have lights on. If you've never rode it at Christmas time, make sure you come back at Christmas time because they add little wreaths and Christmas trees, and it's just so cute. But before we go there, we have to stop by the popcorn stand and see if they have the new Mickey skeleton bucket. We're thinking they're probably sold out because yesterday they did just launch those. I don't see any. It's a popcorn stand here in Fantasyland right outside of the Matterhorn. So we're gonna get a popcorn bucket, then we're gonna head over to We Were Lucky, and we found this on the second day of release, and it was the very last bucket. Isn't it cute?
Yes. We got some popcorn.
Super
in the
cute.
shot.
Over here by the Matterhorn popcorn cart. Yay! Storybook Land Boats. This was another one of those ticket collecting spots. This is one of our favorite rides to just relax. It's kind of a mix of a jungle cruise, but in Fantasyland. So as you ride through the different lands, they will tell you about the different villages. Go ahead.
Look down, watch your step. I guess you draw all the way forward towards Monster of the Whale. My party of four. Look down, watch your step.
Monster of the Whale.
Don't worry, folks. It looks like we're being swallowed up by Monster of the Whale. He's actually transporting us to a magical world called Storybook. Our story does start with once upon a time, for armies of the big bad that lives in a cave coming up here on the west. And he's always after the cute little places like London Park here on the right, where Peter, John, Michael, and of course Wendy flew over with the help of some pixie dust on their way to Neverland, but they would never, ever have to go on. Jasmine in the marketplace, and through the power of love and of course the help of the genie, they were married and live on top of the hill in the Sultan's palace. In this day, when it forbade it, leaving her behind in the blue chateau seen here on the left. Her fairy godmother granted her wish, but she was unable to leave the ball before midnight. Her carriage turned back into a pumpkin. You might even still see it on the bridge. But of course, through the power of true love, she was able to marry her prince, where they live in the castle over there on the hill to this day. Falling asleep on quilted flowers like the one seen here on the left. These are inspired by the 1933 Silly Symphony, Lullaby Land. Is Toad today, as he's off on a wild ride to nowhere in particular. Or places like that of Arendelle, here beneath the frozen mountains, where Elsa fled on top of the fjord to build her icy castle. But her sister Anna refused to let her go, and through that act of true love proved once and for all that family can weather even the harshest of snowstorms. What the blue fairy, this wish came true. Geppetto's wish is not unlike many wishes made in storybooks, even one that led a little steps to becoming part of our world. But hers is the story of the shadow of her father, King Triton, ruler of the city of Atlantica, seen here on the left. But there's a story that cascaded to many adventures that led to happily ever after. And as we close the book on our
So we just got off of the Storybook Land boats, one of Gabby's favorite rides. We love looking at the miniature villages and all the details. Gabby, what was your least favorite village?
Probably the Ariel one or the Arendelle, because you can't really see it that well, so kind of hard to notice.
It's hard to see the details because it's kind of large. I love the Geppetto Village, and I also love the Cinderella Castle because they put the details of still having the pumpkin on the bridge. So it's just a really neat ride if you love the stories of Disney and the fantasy of that, and you like little boat rides. That is definitely one to go on. Now off to, I think, Casey Jr.'s train.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what we're gonna do next. So to get to Casey Jr.'s circus train, it's kind of a hidden little path behind Dumbo. There's some seating area here. There's a little Dumbo bush. And then, come here. Casey Jr. train is a super duper small train based on the Casey Jr. Train in the cartoons. And there is even little, you can pretend to be little animals in a cage. It's small, it takes you through actually quite expansive ride, I think. And it goes around the Storybook boats. But it's a long ride, but it's such a cramped little space. If you have long legs, you're an adult, you are gonna be a little cramped. So here is the Casey Jr. Circus Special.
We might be on next train.
Casey Jr. is running down the tracks. Another fun thing about being in Fantasyland in the morning, we saw Pinocchio, but he was a little too far away to film. Usually there's characters walking around, and sometimes we even get serenaded by the Pearly Band.
Every time it's running, it'll make some sound. Everybody knows the
into the station. We're just getting off of Casey Jr.'s train. It was probably the most comfortable ride we've ever had on that because we didn't try to be the animals in the cages going down the track. This time we were in the front car and it's pretty comfortable and a cute view of all of the miniature villages from the Storybook Land boats ride that we just went on. So now let's head to the Carousel. We have the Carousel, the Mad Tea Party, Small World, and the Matterhorn left to do. And then we are all done with the attractions. It is currently 9:40. So here we go. This is King Arthur's Carousel, and it is the carousel here in Fantasyland. So we are going to enter into that line. On the other side is where you will find the Sword in the Stone. Back when I was here in the 90s, they used to have, oh, there's Peter Pan! They used to have a show with Merlin at the Sword in the Stone, and we used to be able to watch Merlin choose kiddos to pull the sword out of the stone. And who do we see but Wendy? We just saw Peter Pan and now we see Wendy. Hi! There's Peter Pan signing autographs. So here is that Sword in the Stone. Peter Pan. Fantasyland is a great place to be in the morning because the ride lines are shorter, obviously, but also because there's so many characters to see. We've seen Belle in her villager's outfit. We've seen Genie, Geppetto, Pinocchio, and just a random selection of characters. And sometimes even Mary Poppins and Bert. Sometimes they're riding on the merry-go-round. It's just so much fun. Okay, our fun jaunt on the merry-go-round. Oh, here's Belle. Speaking of the princess herself. Okay, so after we're getting off the carousel, we are going to head over to the teacups. I was mistaken before, I forgot one attraction. So we have the teacups left. We have the Matterhorn. We have Small World. And we have the Castle Sleeping Beauty walkthrough. That is an official attraction on the map. So we are counting that as one of the attractions as well. So I was able to get a Genie Plus for the Matterhorn. We could stand in line. It's about a 25-minute wait right now, or even try single rider. Both of those would be good options. But I had Genie Plus today, so I'm going to use that for the Matterhorn. And then I'll probably end up using that for Small World as well, just to make sure our wait's a little bit shorter. Because I did order a cold brew from the Red Rose Tavern, and it is the new pumpkin cheesecake cold brew. I'm so excited to try it. I love the pumpkin spice season and the pumpkin spice cold brew. Okay, here we go. Here we come. My favorite time to ride, that's cool. My favorite time to ride the teacups is actually at night because this area is dark, and then all these lanterns in the tree are all lit up. They're lit up now, you just can't see them very well. Rumor has it that the purple cup's the fastest. I don't know. Not my favorite. Teacups are okay. Gabby loves it. She loves spinning. One of my least favorite rides is the teacups. One of her favorite rides is the teacups. She loves going in circles. I do not. It makes my head spin still after getting off of it. But that doesn't matter because we are now headed over to redeem our lightning lane for the Matterhorn. Then we're going to go pick up my coffee, walk through the castle, and head over to our last attraction, which would be Small World. Here we go. Matterhorn is a rough and tumble, kind of a bobsled ride. If you rode it like in the 90s and probably early 2000s, you had the seats where you like sat in it with someone, and now they have the individual seats. But if you have long legs, It is quite a tight fit. Luckily my legs aren't too long, so it's not too tight of a fit, but it is rough, and if you have any kind of back or knee injuries, probably not a good one to go on, because it will move and shake you for sure. Matterhorn is one of the legends of the Yeti, one of those legends here, and you will see him quite a few times as you go through this ride. There are two different tracks, and they really do make a difference. There's a left side and a right side, and it really does feel different. I feel like the right side, maybe was the right side the
Right side is
crazy one?
No, left side is
Oh. She's saying the left side is the one that's the fun one because it's a little bit more crazy. Whereas the right one's a little smoother. Tight line, we just merged with the regular line. Here's the regular line. And then Genie Plus just came in, and they do have a single rider line, which works. Last night we used it actually at about 11 o'clock, and there was nobody in it, and we actually both got to ride it on the same ride, so that was pretty cool. Off the Matterhorn. It is officially 10:11. Gabby, what do you think of the ride?
I love it.
Do you like it better in the daytime or at night?
Nighttime.
Why?
It's more scary.
Oh yeah, it is kind of scarier at night because all you can do is hear the Yeti, and then he suddenly appears. Whereas during the day you can kind of see him coming. I agree. Okay, so we are headed over to Red Rose Tavern to pick up my cold brew coffee. Then we are going to go through the Sleeping Beauty walkthrough. Okay, Red Rose Tavern is one of 4 places to do mobile order and eat in Fantasyland. It is going to be your largest place though for seating and dining. It serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you can see the offerings on the mobile app for Disneyland. Pretty good food. They did recently change it. I really miss the pommes frites they used to have pre-COVID. Now they have like tater tots instead of fries, but their cheeseburgers are pretty good. But we are here for one reason only. We are here for the cold brew coffee, and we've already done our mobile order for it. So here we go. You will notice that, thank you, Red Rose Tavern is Beauty and the Beast themed, and on one side you have Gaston's Tavern. On the other side, though, is all Belle and her adventure. What's fun about this ordering area here is that you have different touches from the movie of Beauty and the Beast. Always look up and around when you're going into a place like this if you're interested in the Disney details, because it's just fascinating to me. Now, if you didn't mobile order, you'll stand in this line here, you'll order here, you'll pay, and you'll pick up back there. If you did mobile order, though, you will wait till your mobile order says it is ready. Then they will tell you a window to pick up on. You know, the bread. So fun. Then they have, off to this side over here, they have the condiment area where you can get your ketchup, your mustard. Oh, they have honey mustard, ketchup, ranch, barbecue, and mayonnaise and mustard in the little things here. This is also one of the fewer areas where they actually have a water filling station in here. It's not a filtered one, just like a regular faucet that they'll give you a cup and you can fill with water instead of giving you a cup with water in it. So here is that cheesecake pumpkin spice cold brew. Oh, it's pumpkin-y. I like it. It has a good amount of spice to it and some pumpkin flavor. excellent cold brew. So we did a little pit stop, used the bathroom, took in some cold brew. Once I mixed it all in together, it was very sweet and very thick, had a weird texture. I ended up not liking it. I did like the first sip though, that was pretty good. I think it needed less of the cheesecake pumpkin spice concoction, more like I think I would have liked it better if it was a foam. Anyways, we are down to our last 2 attractions. We've almost done it for the day. It is 10:24 right now. We are going to go through the walkthrough at Sleeping Beauty's castle. Then we're going to head over to Small World. The crowds have definitely picked up here today in Fantasyland. I would say about 9:30, 10 o'clock. The people definitely start coming. Now, Sleeping Beauty Castle is going to be one of the smaller castles that are in the parks because it was the original. And there is a walkthrough option. If you've never done the walkthrough, it's quite a fun thing to do. It is literally a walk through the castle on the inside, and it's the retelling or the storytelling of Sleeping Beauty and her story with Aurora. Here's her little castle. So it's small, but it's quaint. And along the way, you'll have these little storybooks that tell you the story. There is stairs, and there's a ton of stairs. So they have a handicap version. We have not done that one. So if you've done that, let us know in the comments and tell us what you thought about it. We have these different window scenes of the different parts in the story that follow along in the book.
My favorite part, the dungeon.
Now there is a little bit of a jump scare here for the dungeon. So once you see the sleeping castle and Aurora fast asleep after pricking her finger, they have the dungeon scenes. And there's a little creature that comes. If you stare at the window long enough, he will make his appearance. Oh, I think he's coming.
Yes.
Gabby, you made me jump. Here we have Maleficent. Her dragon form and fight the prince. Now, one of the coolest features is the shadow that appears here. It's Maleficent's shadow right there, and then it goes away. And that's it. We got to the end of the castle walkthrough experience. Upon exiting the castle walkthrough experience, you have one of the mini shops here in Fantasyland, Merlin's Marvelous Miscellany. It's a small little shop where you'll find things for Mary Poppins right now, Fantasyland. They have Peter Pan things, but one of the funnest things about this shop is look around the top. They have a lot of Peter Pan merchandise in here. That's cute. Now also in this area they have Bibbidy Bobbidy Boutique, which is a fun experience to do with your little ones. We do it a couple times with Gabby when she was little, and the fairy godmothers in training transform your kiddo into a princess or a prince or a knight. So this is Bibbidy Bobbidy Boutique. You will notice that they are with headstones or carving stones of TikTok Croc, Captain Hook, and Smee, because this used to be a pirate store, Peter Pan themed. So in here you will find all the princess dresses, all their accessories, prince knighting outfits. They have some just general princess stuff. They actually sell their hair pieces now. They have their special, usually there's like a holiday dress. Oh, this is so cute. Look at you. It's a mini themed outfit. And of course we have Encanto and Tink and Frozen. Oh, and Raya's right behind us. Oh my gosh, so fun. Now, as an adult, you can't do this. The ending age is actually 12. They have different level of packaging and different level of dresses. So when you book your appointment online, you will be able to, when you check in, tell them what package you want to get. Oh, they have Prince Naveen. That's cool. Now, as an adult, you can ask them to fairy dust you, and they will sprinkle you with a little bit of their magic dust. And they do have these really expensive, beautiful dresses. The spell one here is $350. Or you can get a cheaper version for $99 here. And then they also have their accessories. So that's Bibbidy Bobbidy Boutique. Mad Hatter is another shop they have here in Fantasyland. Mad Hatter is themed to Alice in Wonderland. And in here is where you're going to find your ears and your hats. And it's also the White Rabbit's house. So you can have some fun finding little clues of his living here. The Cheshire Cat mirror.
Remember, they usually appear.
And over here,
Remember, the Cheshire Cat usually appears.
yeah. They'll also do embroidery here.
Look, Cheshire.
Oh, Cheshire Cat appears behind the mirror. I don't know if you can see that. La Petite Chalet is another shopping spot. It's right outside of the Matterhorn and next to the popcorn stand. This is one of those outdoor ones where you will find a selection of miscellaneous things. They have bubble wands and some necklaces. They have some of the Halloween merchandise. They have the snow-blowing Olaf wand, as well as the Buzz Lightyear. They have some ears, hats, and look at their cute Halloween merchandise. Oh my gosh. I really like their merchandise this year for Halloween. And they have the fans. These fans are amazing. Okay, next to this is one of the eateries here. We're gonna get that famous new cheesy pretzel garlic bread in about 30 minutes. I just placed a mobile order, and a churro stand. There's also a slushy stand over there that sells like slushies and cold drinks. And this is Merida. Merida's just walking around. I love Fantasyland. There's Merida. Gabby, good job pointing her out. Oh my gosh. They also have a bunch of mobile snack stands over here. This is where you can buy the popcorn and the pretzels and the ice creams. And this is where the movie Ariel is meet and greeting. They change that out occasionally depending on the themes. As we head to Small World. Now, Small World was commissioned for the World's Fair by the Children's Hospital to showcase children connecting around the world. And when it did open, they invited children from all over the world to come and premiere it. Now, what's fun about Small World is there is a TikTok clock right there. And on the hour, and I believe half an hour, they actually have a parade of the wooden creatures, the wooden dolls that are different from different parts of the world, come out and dance around. Christmas is my favorite time because it's decorated and it's beautiful. Hey, we scanned into Small World. We didn't really need a lightning lane for that. There's a 5-minute wait. It's pretty much just a wait for the boats. But we got it anyways because sometimes that 5 minutes turns into 10 or 15. So if we have Genie Plus, why not use it? So we are gonna wait in this line, get in the boat, and ride in a journey around the world. Getting off of Small World, it is one of my favorite rides here. I know, it's so weird. But I love the details they added to it with the Disney characters in each of the different countries. It's air conditioned. It's about 10 minutes. You get to sit down, you get to relax, air conditioned. We've also used it as a little bit of a cat nap, so sometimes you can use it just to relax and rest in an air conditioned area. Plus, I love looking at all of the different props. So our last store area here in Fantasyland is right out of the exit of Small World. This is where you will find more of the toys, like these amazing new dolls that have accessories with them and a change of clothes. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. Look at Tiana in her yellow dress that she has. Oh my gosh. Rose, Cinderella with her maid outfit. So cute.
They have Ariel.
We'll find some merchandise from the movie, Ariel movie here. It's usually like princess and toys in general will be here in this Small World themed merchandise location. I have some stuffed animals here, just different items. So at the edge of Fantasyland, you will find the entrance to Mickey's Toontown. Go ahead and watch a video. It's upcoming of a tour of Mickey's Toontown. It will be there shortly. They have a theater. Fantasyland Theater is home of the new theater show Tale of the Lion King. Today there are show times at 12:15, 2:15, 4:15, and 5:45. It is like more of like a Broadway retelling of the show. We watched it a couple months ago. They don't have like the characters there. It's more the actors dressed up, inspired by the characters that are in The Lion King. The final eatery that you can get mobile order is this Troubadour Tavern. Troubadour Tavern has a baked potato that's amazing. And these restrooms, amazing restrooms. Okay, so it is just about on the hour, 11 o'clock. And Gabby noticed, hey, those creatures we were telling you about, those little kids, they're out for the clock. You can see them right there. We are headed though to get our cheesy pretzel. It is just about time for that mobile order to be ready. And this is another one of those ticket collecting booths. So here it is with the popcorn stand. Looks like they are out of the Mickey buckets. We were so lucky this morning to grab one of those. They do have this Fantasy Fair Gifts location. This is where you'll find most of your Lion King merchandise from the show that they have here. They also have hand sanitizer, little pens, little games, some of the pre-packaged popcorn, different blowers, just different like miscellaneous snacks and waters that you can find. Thank you. Good. How are you? Oh, they have the Wemos. They have the Princess Wemos. And blankets. Oh, they have the Zero. That's the one that goes on your shoulder.
Oh, it is?
No, it's not. I thought it was. Oh, yeah, there it is. Is it Edelweiss or Edelweiss? Not sure. Probably neither. It's a snack shop here in Toontown. I'm not Toontown, Fantasyland, across from the Matterhorn. Edelweiss?
Yeah.
I think you might be right. They have a turkey leg bratwurst, and the cheesy garlic pretzel bread that is brand new that looks amazing. It's pretzel bread stuffed with cheese garlic spread. That looks amazing, and we're gonna try it, and I am super duper excited. This is delicious. The pretzel bread is soft but not too pretzel-y. I don't really care for pretzels that much. The cheesy garlic sauce inside, oh my goodness, it's ooey gooiness. It's perfect. What do you think? No words, just a finished thumbs up. One of the little secret paths are from the castle. It says to Frontierland, but what I love about it is you can go into this area. Bibbidy Bobbidy Boutique entrance is back there. but it's only for the fairy godmothers in training. To the right here, this line is to meet the princesses. It's the Princess Royal Gathering. Oh, there's Anna. Oh, they're doing some refurbishments. Maybe I can put in some video footage the last time we were here. Glad I took some the last time we were here. Anyways, the reason we're filming over here is because I wanted to show you one more theater and the last treat spot here in Fantasyland. Now, this video was not about us doing all of the things, but all the attractions. And we did accomplish that by 11 o'clock. But this little area is just too much to resist. So we have the Royal Hall. We have Rapunzel's Tower. And this is the Royal Theater. Now, the stage shows alternate between usually Beauty and the Beast and Rapunzel. They start 10:45, 12, 1:15, then 3, 4:15, and 5:30. And after the show, the characters, the princess, like Belle right there, will meet and greet with the audience members, which is really cool. Now, the other place that's super yummy is this one, Maurice's Treats. Now, Maurice's Treats used to have a very yummy bread cheesy garlic twist. They've now replaced that with that delicious pretzel cheesy bread. They also have a boysen apple freeze, which is delicious. And they have some breakfasts, some ham and cheese croissants, spinach feta roll, cream cheese and blueberry filled Danish, and a chocolate croissant. Super yummy. They also have some coffee and cold brew here. And the line is usually very limited. So that wraps up our Fantasyland tour. Okay, so we just finished up our challenge. It's about 11 o'clock. And our challenge today was just to see if we could do all the attractions in Fantasyland. And we did. We had the help of Genie Plus on 2, but we really didn't need them. We could have just used a single rider line for Matterhorn and used just a walk-on for Small World because there wasn't really much there. I love to rope drop Fantasyland. The Genie Plus is not very active in this land. There are 14 attractions, I believe, and only 2 of those have Genie Plus. So by rope dropping this area, we've gotten done most of the attractions here in Disneyland with barely any use of Genie. And it's only been a few hours, plus we had a pit stop for the restroom, and we got coffee, and we got the cheesy pretzel bread, which was quite delicious. So, Gabby, what is your favorite part about Fantasyland?
I really like I like the Storybook ride and the Matterhorn.
You know what I love about Fantasyland is I really feel like we're in the stories of the different characters. I love that characters are walking around all morning. I love that we see the band sometimes, and I love being immersed in the stories that they have in their rides. But my con, the thing I don't like about Fantasyland, it is so crowded. There's so many people and it's such a small area. So that would be my least favorite part about Fantasyland. What about you?
For me, I don't like how when you line up, the little things are like so short together. And also how the lines get so long for just very short rides.
Yeah. I would say one of my favorites is Small World just because it's so big, air conditioned, and it has so much detail. But I also really love Peter Pan and Snow White's Enchanted Wish.
Those are the two most.
I know. I like the things that have the longest lines. What can I say? I will agree, though, those line queues are super, super skinny. But I think it's because they were some of the first in the park.
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed our video today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit those notification buttons. And hopefully we can do more like this on the lands around the Disneyland park.
Stay magical.
And always look for those adventures.